This is why is so many things going on here? Okay, so wait, where's my thing? Okay, so first thing first is this color chart. Everybody saw that color chart I posted. So this is the color chart of each individual student by their student ID, so I don't expose you, like whatever. But right now I see there's some orange, some red. Red obviously means about your predicted score on AP exam is gonna be a 1. Orange is gonna be a 2, and yellow is a 3. So obviously nobody in the green, and that's your BC. BC have few greens, and I have 2 blue. You guys probably know those 2 blue. One is Anthony, one is Matthew Sheldon. So we got right now the whole school. There's only 2 blue. The reason why they are blue is if I give them any question that they never seen in their life, they will figure out how to do it. They know they don't need to be taught. They don't need to be taught. They will figure out a way to conquer it, and that's the difference between Anthony and the Matthew. Also help, they are kind of on my math team, so they actually just do a lot of math question on their own. They practice seeing those questions that they never seen before. Now this color chart is not to discourage you in any way. It's actually to encourage you to move on, to motivate you to move to the next color. Your color is a red. It's not end of the world. I have seen people changing from a red to a blue. One example is Harmon. I don't know if anybody know Harmon. You know Harmon, okay? You know Harmon. So Harmon, I think the first year when I have him, he didn't do any homework throughout the first 2 quarters. The test is all bad, like F all the way through. And then I had to call his dad, and his dad beat his ass. So, and then after that, he started doing homework, and then his grade started changing. It changing from a red to a blue. One of the perfect example I remember went from a red to a blue. So it's really important. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. You can start weak, you can start red, but if you end with blue, it's still a blue. I also seen another example, another girl named Andy. I teach 6 years ago. He was blue all the way to the last month. And then he got a boyfriend. And then everything go downhill. So went from blue to a yellow. So his final AP exam score was a 3. My ideal goal is not for you, not anybody to fail. My ideal goal is everybody have a yellow above. My ideal goal, my true goal is this: everybody have a 5. I don't think I can ever reach that. The one class I have really come close to it is 2 years ago. I have whole class 60% has 5, and that was the highest I ever been to. And throughout the whole that class that year, it's 48% 5 total combined all 3 classes. 48 or 50%. I think 50% 5. So every year I'm looking to improvement. I don't look at going back. So last year, we are 95%, like I think it's 96% pass, but I want 100%. So I don't want anybody to fail. If you're on the red side, I need to pick up your slack. So 2 options in your life. One, you have a choice to let the problem you don't know to become liability or become your ability. So if you have a question you didn't know, that's why I was kind of mad about Madeline, and Madison didn't show up on that Friday, because you obviously didn't do well on the test. But besides you don't do well on the test, You didn't come back to try to understand it. You got to understand it. You got to. Even you fail a test or got a 0 on a test. If some people got a 0 on the first that particular test on second period, they come back to understand every single thing. They're still gonna be better than people who got a 60. Why? Because even they got a 0, they come back and says, I want to understand every single thing. So every unknown question can become your ability or becomes your liability. It's your choice. My choice is I always change it from the something I don't know, change it to I know how to do something. Even last night, I don't know how to teach Calc 2. And I had to go back to watch 6 different videos. I spent probably 4 hours to watch over like a lot of Calc 2 videos. Just make sure I can be precise at it. I don't want to become my liability. I want to become my ability to teach it. This is the 3rd year I teaching Calc 2, and I still forget stuff. So I still am trying to master my skill. And usually it takes 5 years to master at teaching. So this is my 3rd year. But my next year, you guys should be fine now if you're taking VC. But question about the color chart. It's not designed to unmotivate you. It's designed you to motivate you to work harder. And that's what your end goal is. Got it? Also, math competition, January 27. Anybody welcome to join? If Chase says you want to join, that's fine. If Catherine says I want to join, it's fine. Actually, I prefer you guys to join. It doesn't matter your math skill, just treat this extra practice. It's not AP exam, but you can work under stress. A lot of people doesn't have enough experience to work under stress. When you work under stress, are you gonna excel or are you gonna panic? You need to learn how to work under stress. So for me, if you can come, let me know, says, hey, I want to do a math competition. It's better for you, trust me. It's better for you. So I recommend anybody to wanted to come. I recommend the whole class to do it, even you got a 0 on the test. Now, I will say is this, tests under stress is different than normally doing homework. So you gotta be able to put yourself in that stress situations. You practice for those situations, but there's not a lot of situations. There's only one chance of that situation was the AP exam. But I hear you actually got a kind of mini mock exam that you can go in to take. And for 1 hour over the weekend, we can go to Lotto Market afterwards. It's right next street. Lotto Market is a beautiful place. Has a lot of vendors. And we can go Vietnamese festival after that, because that's on the same day. And Min's gonna be our tour guide.
Kelly be a tour guide.
You and Kelly gonna be a tour guide for the Min. But what is that? A New Year festival, yeah. Is that? Well, that is Moon Festival, right?
No.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It is, bro.
Are you gonna tell me?
Is it not the same thing as Chinese New Year?
No, but
It's
that and the
literally-
Moon Festival are different, bro.
But what is the Vietnamese for Moon Festival?
Poop, right?
Whitewash Vietnamese people, I swear.
I hate Vietnamese people, bro.
You're on the live stream. Say it louder.
Everyone knows.
Okay, so the color chart is there to motivate you. Hopefully, everybody gonna change to blue. Ideally, I want everybody to change blue. Now, I didn't give you anybody blue or green on AB kits just because we didn't finish the topic yet. If you keep the same attitude, then probably it's gonna be that. But if you know more knowledge, that's gonna improve. But anyway, so that's the color scheme. And the color scheme is going to update it every month, so you have something to look forward to. Am I getting better or not? So kind of give you my mindset of you. I gotta say, I think a lot of people improve. I think like Corbin improve a lot. Also, I think sometimes people go back down, right? So that color is gonna change to red if you not keep up. So I will tell you, you're not doing a good job. You're gonna go back to things. So one of the things that is on the AP exam is a lot is this part. It's 10% of AP exam. This worksheet is 10% of AP exam. And I'm gonna airdrop to you right now. So I'm gonna airdrop. You can turn on your airdrop. This is your homework.
Yeah, it was sent through the WhatsApp.
Yeah, but not everybody have access to
Oh, okay.
the WhatsApp right now because the school Wi-Fi is being cheesy. Now, the one nice thing about FTC is this. For me, like I'm very emphasized on this. And you probably know why I'm emphasized because the 10% of AP exam is based on FTC. And if you can understand FTC very well, become your asset, becomes your ability instead of liability, you're gonna win out a lot of things. So, anybody need me to airdrop? Anybody else? I know not Corbin. Okay. I don't know who's that. His iPhone 5. I just
It's iPhone ever.
fifth iPhone. Okay, let's look at this question. This question, obviously, you don't know how to start, but I want you to try. And this is what FRQ is going to look like, is to be able to see, to ask you to says, hey, do you have to analyze? Now, you're going to realize AP exam is completely different than my exam. My exam is building foundations, and this test is basic if you understand how to do basic things. So I think anybody can excel in this part. It doesn't matter how bad your algebra skill is. And we all know how bad your algebra skill is. But with that being said, this is the part that you don't need to require a lot of algebra skill, just require a little bit of understand concepts. If you understand concept, you can win a lot of points here. All right. How many of you guys want to take a stab at H of 3? Hayden? Okay. I think you miscounted. Yes, Abhilash? 11 is correct. Do you guys understand why it's 11? No? Okay, that's fine. I'm like Maddie is shaking their head. I wish like every student like can be like that. If you don't understand, shake your head. Says, I don't understand. Can you explain me more? Can you elaborate why that is? Ask me question. The only way you're gonna make me a better teacher is by asking me questions. It's not by just sit there and nod, pretend that you understand. That just shows me like I'm like a very shitty teachers. So you need to be not afraid to ask me question. So if I want a h of 3, that means I replace x with 3. That means I replace this with 3. This is 0 and ft dt. And that's how it is. Now I can obviously this t is just a variable I can plug in. If I plug in x, it's gonna be x, so it'll be 0 to 3 of x dx. That's fine. Of h of 3, you know that x and t just different variable. If ft just gonna be in term of t, f of x is gonna be in term of x. Obviously not changing. So that means 0 to 3. That means area between 0 to 3. So that I'm gonna find this area here. And this area is counting the square, so it's 11 squares, so it's 11. Well, actually, it's 10 and half of each, so it's 11. Does anybody want to try h prime of 3? That one's a little bit harder. Yes.
Oh, I said 2.
2 is a 2 right answer? So now let's analyze what is it. So your goal is to find out what's h prime of x first, so you can plug in the 3, right? But what is h of x? H of x is equal to 0 to x of ft dt, right? So in order to find h prime of x, I must do what? Take a derivative, right? So if I take a derivative, is d to the dx here, and the d to the dx here. Does that make sense? In order to get h prime. So in this case, it's going to be h prime of x, and there's d to the dx of this part, 0 to x of ft dt. So obviously, if I take the integration of non-capital F, what am I going to get? A capital F, right? Does that make sense? Capital F. Well, not only that, it's capital F of x minus capital F of a 0. Now, I show you how fundamental theorem of calculus come in because this part is the first part of FTC. So this is the part 1 is you take integrate, just integrate, plug in lower upper bound, subtract lower bound. Now, this one is equal to h prime of x. H prime of x is equal to the derivative of a capital F. It's going to be f of x times derivative the inside. Chain rule, don't forget chain rule, because that's really important. Minus f of 0 times derivative inside, which is 0. Which is nice thing, 0, 0, that's going to go away. So h prime of x equal to f of x. Now, since I'm looking for 3, then that's equal to f of 3. Well, f of 3, this is f of x, right? So that means when x is equal to 3, what is my output? It's going to be 2. So Rajesh is right. So h of 3 is equal to 11. H prime of 3 is equal to 2. Now, can you tell me what's h double prime of 3 now? I know you know. I need to call on other people. I know you know too. I need to call on other people. Besides Rajesh, Avadash, Aiden, and Ethan. Anybody else can tell me what's h double prime of 3? Simon? Because you're falling asleep. I see you dozed off. Herbie, where's your glasses? You look like you need the glasses. Huh? Yeah. Get the glasses. Yeah, you need the glasses. If you cannot see that, you need glasses. Playing too much Fortnite over the Christmas break. What is the H double prime of 3? Anybody want to take a stab besides those 4 people? Elaine?
Hmm,
No?
not sure.
Corbin?
Could be -2.
-2 is good. H double prime of 3 is -2. Why? Now, wait. Why did I use this one? Sorry. That is a bad one to use. I'm gonna erase all this. I used the wrong one. Okay, so because H double prime is equal to F prime. Does that make sense?
And
If I-
technically it's F prime, right? Because of chain rule. Or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that part is very easy to figure out. But you can take a derivative of this, and that's gonna give you that.
Mr. What was the point of proving the cycle?
I'm proving to you to show you how to do it, because a lot of time you need to do it. Because sometimes you're gonna have a boundary that's different. Hold on, I need it. Where's my? Where's my thing? It's not working. Oh, it's working. So if I take a derivative of this, right? If I take a derivative of this, it's gonna give you H double prime of X, F prime of X. Now I'm gonna erase this part, sorry. So H of 3 is equal to 11. H prime of 3 is going to be 2. And H double prime of 3 is -2. Why? Because this point here, it has a slope of down to right 1. Because if I want a F prime of something, but since I only have F of X, that means I need to look for slope at X equal to 2. Does that make sense? Catherine, does that make sense? So that's why it is slope here. If I look at for the prime, so that has to be -2. And that's why I say it doesn't really require calculus skill. It's more like algebra 1 skill. It doesn't like have too much work to do it. Just look at it. But you cannot count your slope wrong. Somebody told me it's -1/2 last period. No, it's not -1/2 because it's down 2 unit, move right 1 unit. So it's down -2, right 1. So you cannot mess that up. Okay. Is there any questions so far? Min, do you have questions? Catherine? Madison? No? Okay. We're going to say, if you don't have a question, can you tell me which X value is H decreasing? Okay, Ethan?
From 4 to 12.
Why is that?
Because at that point, the graph is below 0, meaning that the derivative will be, the integral will be, it will be adding a negative to the integral, making it less.
I think you are more confusing at toward the end, but at the very beginning you were doing well
It
explaining.
goes negative, so then it goes down.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's look at this. We already established the h prime of x is equal to f of x. Do we establish from this part to this part right here? Do you see that? We established that part, right? But h is decreasing. That means what? H means decreasing means h prime of x is less than 0. But therefore, it's f of x is less than 0, which is f of x is below x-axis. In this case, it has to be from 4 to 12. Question. Do you guys understand? Yes or no? Okay. At what x does h attain its maximum? Avinash? At x equal to 4. Why?
Uh,
No.
after that, it's only negative area. Only roughly. Yeah, it goes from positive to negative, increasing and decreasing.
Okay, so let me ask you a reinforcement question. You told me where the x reached the maximum. Can you tell me what the maximum value is?
Well,
12 is good. So not only I can ask you where does the maximum occur, I can ask you a maximum value. Right? So maximum occur at x equal to 4. Why? Because maximum, if I say it's maximum, anytime I maximum I think about is the function of, the function went from negative so to positive. So h prime of x change from positive to negative. So that means f of x change from positive to negative. Why is from positive to negative? Because that's this part. You think about all this part, you accumulate area, right? Think about if you have a national, let's say, as surplus. You guys studied economic, right? How many of you guys are economic? Yes? Okay, 1. So surplus is when country is making more export than import. So the country is making more money. And so that's why you have a surplus. A surplus, you can have all the surplus right here, right? But at this point is when you're changing from surplus to a deficit. But all the things that you build throughout the years of a surplus is building asset to your country, right? That is the surplus. But when you this point, when they become a deficit, but at this point it's the maximum asset that your country have, because that's the most amount of money you have. Because after that, you're spending more than you're making. Yeah, so this point is gonna be where they cross. Now, what also you can think about a person walking right and left. This point is gonna be the furthest right. Do you see that? It's the furthest right, because imagine this is walking to the right. This is the furthest right, because at this point, if this is a velocity graph, I have to address this velocity graph. This velocity is equal to 0. That means change direction. All this is working to the right or left. So all this part is working to the left. So it can be a furthest right question and things like that. So maximum value. So let me write down here. The maximum value is equal to 12. Now, this one, the last part is the hardest one. When does a h attain its minimum? Can you tell me when the minimum is? Now you're gonna be like, and I understand what your question is, but I'm gonna ask you to think about which x value does h attain minimums.
would it be 12? went from 0 to 12, the lowest point would be 12.
Yes, it is true. It is 12. Good job. So how do you find the maximum value and minimum value on AP exam if they ever want you to justify? What you're gonna have to do is build a table. And this is h of x. And obviously you should including endpoints. So this is the endpoint. Because your maximum and minimum value could occur at an endpoint. But it can also be a critical point. So the critical point is going to be 4. But we know at 4, my output is going to be 12. At 0, it's going to be 0 because there's no area under the curve. There was 0 here. So there's no area under the curve. So therefore it's 0. Also, what happened at 12?
Negative 14 and a half.
Why do you know it's a negative 14.5?
Because when you go through and you subtract the stuff under the graph from the stuff on top of the graph.
Yes. So basically, you still look at an accumulation of area. In this card, that if this person's walking to the right, all these points here that we say is positive is walking to the right, right? Now he's gonna walking start to the left. Now you can figure out this is 12, and there's some type of here. I think this is a negative 26.5, and so your net outcome is gonna be 14.5 negative. So your minimum value is gonna be negative 14.5. Also, another way I do it is this way: is this is a positive. I'll draw the same shape. This is a negative. So this to offset that part and offset 8 more units. So that's where the offset is, right? And then I will get some extra negative area here is in teal. I can count up this. This is a trapezoid here. So this triangle, rectangle, trapezoid. This is triangle is going to be 3. This rectangle is going to be 4. And that's going to be, I don't know, 15.2, I think. So it will becomes negative 14.5. But this is all negative. So this is all negative, 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 because it's below x-axis. Your output of integral is going to be negative. Does that make sense? You guys want to try a question? Second question. Go ahead. You guys going to try the second question? I'm not going to show you the answers. They also ask additional part of the questions. I will be careful on G of negative 2, however. Slightly trickier than what you think.
Oh. I see.
Kevin here? He didn't say hi to me, so. Yo, was I hiding to you? You're kind of quiet today. There's faculty meeting. Hate faculty meeting. Anybody got G of -2? What'd you get, Maddie? 3 is good. 3 is good. It's not -3 because the boundary is opposite. So let's just do 0 to -2 of ft dt is equal to G of -2, right? So that's equal to what? Well, I don't like this boundary. Pay attention. This boundary is bad. I will change into negative from -2 to 0 of ft dt. So that means -2 to 0 is going to be -3. So therefore it's +3. So G of -2 is +3. Yes. Yeah. What is G of 2? What is G of 8?
-6.
Yeah, because that area is going to offset the other area. Does anybody know how to find the 0 of G? I know you know. I'm gonna ask people I never call Ding. I never call him Ding.
Say it again.
I never hear Ding's voice all the time. I just forget what he sound like. Okay, can you find the 0 of G? You don't know? Jack. I also never hear you speak too. No? Simon. This is the most important lesson. You're not being all here. You're not being here for the last like
How to find a 0?
yeah.
Essentially, what you want to do.
That sounds like BS. And then
Actually, you have to. Is it where the changes like animation or something?
no, you're not being paying attention for the last 20 minutes. Catherine, what do you think? Okay, x equal to 0 is good. Because you think about if this is 0, right? 0 to 0, there's nothing underneath. So there's no area. So 0 is oneable. So at x equal to 0, there's another one. But it's not at 2. Harvey? -4 is good. -4 is good. Because you think about it, if you go back, this becomes the 3, right? And this actually becomes the -3 because the orientation is different. So they can cancel out. This is the exact same area. So they actually offset each other. So it's going to 0. So there's actually 2 places when they're equal to 0. One is at 4 and one is at 0. Rest of the question is pretty easy. G prime of 0 is what? What is G prime 0? -3, good. And G prime 5 is what? 0. And what is g prime of 8? 3. Okay, what's g double prime of 3? G double prime of 3 is 1. Just look at the slope at here. And that's 6 also equal to 1. Yep. Okay, I want you to do this question on your own and help out each other. Of course, questions gonna get harder as each one goes on. It actually guide you to the AP exam. Yes. What? That's nothing. You say at 2, does nothing happen at 2? Horizontal? Is it constant? But it's not that. You're looking for where the output is going to give you a 0. That means h of some value is going to give you a 0. But h of -4, let's just say this, right? 0 to -4 of f of t dt, right? So you have to break down to 0 to actually it's going to be -4 to 0, negative f of t dt, right?
Yeah.
Well, why do I know that? Because this part is -4 to -2 plus -2 to 2 up to 0 of f t dt. So this one here is going to give you a 3. And this one is going to give you a -3. So it'll be -3 minus 3 is 0. So that area is offset each other. So this question is really difficult, but you can try it. Because, oh, not this one. I think this one is kind of difficult because the boundary is 2x minus 2.
Oh, I see. Yeah, chain.
Yeah, you had to do the chain rule.
So I will hopefully get that. Let's forget about
after 3. Yeah.
Is it
8. Because it's -2.
Your homework is the rest of them. I'm also going to write some review questions as well because I feel like you guys probably don't even know how to take derivative of x squared.
It's 2x.
The lens swap or
Yeah.
put it back in.
You're just missing a few.
Oh.
I don't know how I lost it.
how many zeros.
Just don't shake your head.
I only see one.
It's going to be 1.
Yeah.
I see 2. There's 2 zeros.
Oh, dude, sorry. -2. That's the one I forgot about the obvious one as well. I like how we both got the one where you have to look at it, but then we were just like,
Yeah.
there's nothing else. Nothing else is here. Because it starts and stops there. So if you have a width of 0, then it's just 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Min is like so out of it. Min and Simon is like both.
Same exact thing.
You're just gonna stay over here.
I should have done it the night before, but I didn't.
Playing Fortnite or what? What
I don't
time?
know how that helps me.
Oh, man, I know it was getting bad because I wake up.
Reading the Bible until what? I'm just kidding.
So
You're
I was
right.
like,
I didn't go
oh,
to sleep.
it's late.
got banned on Fortnite, bro.
Oh, you cheated?
One of the texts were like,
I can't play Fortnite anymore.
so it's like, yeah, just like interview.
Oh, you cheat on Fortnite. Use the bot?
Yes, bro. I was using this sniper.
You know, like they read like super
Yeah,
deep
man,
and start
it's
to
like-
show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
bro.
C is
I
not
can't play
12.
anymore.
He's
Now I got 100%
Prime.
on
Okay, that's good. How long they ban you for? Did they give you a term of how long they ban you?
permanent ban.
Really?
Can't play Fortnite anymore, bro.
That sucks. Can you just make another account?
But he banned my whole coaching, bro.
You got IP banned?
No way. I tried to make a new account.
Wait, I thought Fortnite is Xbox. I thought Fortnite is Xbox. Oh, really?
Play off the bridge. No, off the bridge. Yes, I said off.
And can you just open up Xbox?
My Xbox is so bad.
Oh, okay, so yeah, okay.
Wait, it's more fun to play Xbox or computer.
It's like it's scary.
But you got a joystick.
Use that on a
You need
computer.
a mouse. You can get one on your Mac.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you can. You can? Can you
No.
There can't be no names on it. Mac is trash. Like show full map game. Show.
Well, man. No. My son played it. Roblox.
Everybody plays show.
Roblox. Roblox and Shawshank, yeah.
I'm gonna need a reboot now.
Today you're not even here, just sit there.
And it was so hot today, like I was so close to being my first period.
It's like